good finisher. He's aggressive. This is a good finish because that's bouncing up, and he's got a touch of it. And the thing is, listen, the Benfica manager and the Benfica players will understand Chelsea have had a difficult 3 weeks in defence. The defender's injured, and he will be relishing that. He'll be saying, get the ball into the box as early as possible. I'm going to make runs in behind here. This is a lovely finish.
Oh.
So he's a top player. I really like him.
He's a great finisher. And to be fair, he's experienced. So against these young guys, he'll be thinking, can I use my experience? If he gets a chance, you can expect it to be in the back of net. He's that good. And Jose knows, I got to get him some service today. He's a threat for Benfica.
Let's talk a little bit about more Chelsea and their inexperience that we touched on earlier on when they were playing against Bayern Munich. They had 5 players making their Champions League debutants that night. 4 of them featuring this side as well. Just going to watch out for that. 1 second.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We'll carry on the conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, you two just left me for dead.
Sorry. Sorry for that. How difficult is it to deal with this team when you've got so many youngsters? Or sometimes can it be a benefit?
It can be the benefit. Listen, the youth and experience are of equal value in football. You've got to have the right balance. And listen, 5 players making a debut, but on the night, in moments, this goal was sensational.
Oh, my word.
They've got to learn on the job.
But Joe, this is what done me. Trying to play out that straight ball in, counter-attack, press, goal.
Yeah.
And I think there was a goal on the other side the same. Red cards, mistakes in the build-up. You can't do that in Munich. The teams are just too good. But I think for a young team, first game, it's a good lesson to learn to go there.
This might confuse you a little bit, but this is Cole Palmer. Look, he's not playing tonight, so he's going to make sure he's incredibly comfortable. Not only has he got that big coat on,
he ain't going to be cold tonight, Cole, is he?
He's also got his slippers.
Yeah. Good,
that's how you do it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how you do it. I might use that attire for the next punditry job. He looks good. Listen, what a player he is. Him missing out of this team, you'd feel it. You feel it. Everything runs through him. He is the heartbeat and the personality of this team. Woodsy, he does everything goes through him, and he's one of them players though. In crucial moments, they look for him. I always look for that. It's all. Everyone can walk and talk when things are going well and you're beating teams 3s and 4s here. When you're losing to Brighton, when you're away to Bayern Munich, that's when I look at players and go, right, who wants it now?
What as well, Joe? He's your most creative player, but he's your best finisher as well.
Yeah.
In front of goal, he's ridiculous. He just passes it. I say to my son all the time, but just pass it. So obviously missing him is a huge blow.
Okay, guys, look, 9 matches tonight in the Champions League that you can enjoy as well. We've got you covered. Look at all that. Taking place across Europe. Also, Real Madrid, by the way, they were involved in that early kickoff. It was 5-0 against Kairat in Kazakhstan. Mbappe scored a hat-trick in that one. Oh, my goodness. Now, across the TNT Sports channels, you can watch live coverage as well of Spurs, Inter, Bayern, Atletico Madrid. Keep across all of them at the same time as well with the goal show. That one is over on 3. And, of course, you can also enjoy it all with Discovery Plus. So you can use the Key Moments feature, and that's if you want to go back and watch incidents, replays. You can seamlessly flick between matches using our in-player discovery option. And there's also goal alerts too, meaning that you can instantaneously jump to another match so you don't miss a moment. All of those features are exclusively available on Discovery Plus. But, of course, our feature is very much Stamford Bridge. We're going to focus on matters here. Both Chelsea and Benfica have enjoyed pretty storied starts to their campaigns. Can Enzo Maresca get the Blues back on track, or will Jose Mourinho haunt his former club, making his Champions League return tonight? We're going to have kick-off next. Got very loud in here.
This programme is brought to you by Pepsi, UEFA Champions League, official partner.
For a long time, I rejected that 72 people lost their lives. We were left torn apart. We needed to find hope.
I feel like Grenfell's keeping a community together.
We had our first kit launch. Wow.
The 72, that's what we're playing for.
We are building a legacy.
We all wear that kit with a lot of pride. It means a lot to us.
Dry cough, chesty. No matter what type of cough your kid has, think Bronco Junior. Made with honey and marshmallow dry extract to provide fast and effective relief for any cough.
Fancy new razor? Arriving soon with Amazon Prime. That's off your mind. So now you can worry if you're slowly turning into your dad.
I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them dancing. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Wandering free, wish I could be part of.
Begin 2026 with a magical weekend break for €118 per person per night. Book now at disneylandparis.com.
I'm inside. What do we need for dinner?
We need everything. Get chicken and green beans and coconut milk.
Unexpected item in packing area.
Get everything you need for delicious dinners delivered to your door. With over 150 recipes every month. 10-minute meals, healthy recipes, and global cuisines. Sign up now at gusto.ie and get 50% off your first box.
Discover a rich world of coffee, full of flavor and intense aromas. A unique moment in every cup of Law coffee. Awaken your senses. Law. Pleasure is gold.
There are thousands of prizes to be won with the Monopoly game at McDonald's. Play now.
With Vinted's new categories, you can now sell even more pre-loved items. And feel new again. Don't use it, sell it.
Some things you can't control. Your energy costs you can. Control what you spend with Prepay Power, so you're never taken by surprise. Well, almost never. Prepay Power. Hello, Control.
Super Value's freshly prepared range. Simple shortcut or secret weapon of the time-pressed home chef. We're not just cutting meat. Ooh, mind your fingers. We're crafting meals. And it's dinner deception of the most delicious kind. Don't worry, your secret's safe with us. And at this value, the savings are delicious. Super Value. The difference is real.
Save big with 3. Get iPhone 16e at no upfront cost from just €40 per month on our discounted plan. Plus, all you can eat data and epic 3+ rewards. Smart plan, big savings. Switch in store or online today. 3, Ireland's best network.
You really think you can get me to like dark chocolate?
Without a doubt.
Won't it taste bitter?
Not this dark chocolate.
It's delicious. I told you it wasn't bitter.
From the Lindt Master Chocolatier, discover excellence. Expect delicious.
With Regina Blitz and its extra large sheets, you'll clean up in a flash. And for other jobs, big or small, try Regina Blitz Giant.
This programme is brought to you by Just Eat. UEFA Champions League, official partner.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit arrogant. I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one. I made history with Chelsea. Chelsea belongs to my history. I belong to Chelsea history. 2 periods of titles. My passion for the job is immense. I cannot change that in my DNA. I want to win, as I always did.
Welcome back to Stamford Bridge. There've just been fireworks in the break there here, celebrating Champions League, returning to Stamford Bridge. The Albert Bridge over there as well, looking absolutely stunning as we build up to this match against Benfica. Listen, Joe, when you were on the road with Jose in the Champions League, What was his approach? What would he tell you?
Well, first of all, we set up the same home or away, more or less. We might tweak it if you're playing a bigger side, but the mindset was you're tough to beat. And that was always Jose's team. And Benfica tonight have to be tough to beat. He has to put some resilience into this team. They conceded 3 at home to Karabag. I think that'll be his message. We come out here tonight and we don't concede goals. There's enough quality in their teams to hurt Chelsea.
All right, well, if it's true what they say, never go back to an ex. Jose is a repeat offender. He's back with his first love tonight, though, Benfica, paying a visit to a club that still has his heart in Chelsea. But tonight he wants 3 points. So for 90 minutes, that love is forgotten for both Jose and probably the Chelsea fans as well. Let's get into commentary. We've got a couple of heartbreakers up there tonight too. Ali McCoist and Adam Sabaton.
Thank you, Laura. Good evening, everyone. A special night in store at the Bridge. The first Champions League game here in more than 2 years, and Jose's back too. Once a blue, always a blue, says Jose Mourinho. Oresca says it will be a privilege to share the touchline with someone he calls a legend. Chelsea past and present collide. One in his very first season as a Champions League coach, the other a two-time winner. Well, this is a Chelsea 11 containing 2 Champions League debutants, Facundo Buonanotte, who's on loan from Brighton, and 19-year-old youth graduate Tyreek George, who's expected to lead the line. Benoit Badiashile makes his first start of the season, having come on as a second-half sub at the weekend. Moises Caicedo has shaken off a not to start. Enzo Fernandez lines up against his previous club. The starting 11 only has a combined tally of 42 previous Champions League appearances. Benfica, the club where it all began for Mourinho as a manager, a coaching career that's come full circle. But it's this part of West London where he says truly feels like home. 3 times a Premier League winner with Chelsea. He knows all about the pressures that come with leading this club. He will be in his element tonight. A man made for big European nights. They've looked forward to this at the Bridge. The first time we've had Champions League football here since April of 2023. Here is our referee for the evening. He was from Germany. Daniel Sieberts made his Bundesliga debut back in 2012, has been FIFA listed since 2015. A familiar face wears the armband for Benfica, Nicolas Otamendi. And it's a former Benfica player, Enzo Fernandez, who captains Chelsea. Well, Benfica's side, they're much more experienced at Champions League level. Their 11 has 253 previous appearances in the competition. That compared to Chelsea's 42. Skippered by the Argentine World Cup winner, Otamendi. He's
forwards to Enzo Fernandez, cross towards striker Tyreek George, goes back to Badiashile. Fernandez down the centre of the pitch. It'll be a free kick to Chelsea. The captain drawing a foul. The earlier kickoffs being Kairat Almaty losing 5-0 to Real Madrid, and Atalanta stealing a home victory off Club Brugge, 2-1 to them. Both of these teams haven't picked up a point yet in the Champions League. Chelsea, not Benfica. So this is a massive game for them. Mourinho's first time in charge of them in the Champions League as well. So they come down the right wing now to the Blues. It's Neto switching the play across to Badiashile. Play down the left hand side to Garnacho. Back to Marc Cucurella. Badiashile. Now Chalobah. Chalobah playing it forwards. Intercepted in the central midfield by Dodi Lukebakio. Turned under pressure from Cucurella. The ball stays in play. The referee doesn't blow for a foul straight away. And then Amar Dedic tries to get the ball. And it does go the way of Chelsea, the free kick. Mourinho looking on pensively. Badiashile across to Chalobah. Chalobah opens up, pings it down the right hand side. A lot of red cards recently have Chelsea. Ento Maresca's come out and said that it's getting increasingly difficult to learn how to play with just 10. Badiashile then plays down the left for Garnacho. Driving at Dedic. Drives in field, finds Cucurella forwards to the edge of the box for Enzo Fernandez. Down the left. It's cut out. Cucurella. Getting his foot in there. Played it over to Malo Gusto, trying to force the ball forwards for Chelsea. It'll be a free kick to Benfica. Otamendi gets the game going again. Antonio Silva forwards into midfield. It's a loose ball and Garnacho straight in. One-on-one with Antonio Silva to get a shot at the goalkeeper. Lays it off to Enzo Fernandez, who strikes, and it goes past the post for Chelsea. Early chance from the edge of the penalty area. Smashes it in. Goes past the left post from the edge of the penalty area. Had to rush the chance a little bit. As Atletico Madrid take an early lead against Frankfurt. Now on fire at the minute. Atleti. Simeone only able to watch from the stands after being suspended in their first match. It's a great early start for them. Chelsea here pressing high as Antonio Silva plays it over to the left hand side of his own penalty area, and again they give it away. Samuel Dahl this time with a loose touch. Careless in possession right now. June 2025 when these two sides last met. Chelsea winning 4-1 after extra time, of course 90 minutes being a draw at 1-1. It was in the Club World Cup round of 16, Bank of America Stadium. Down the right it goes for Neto. Neto tries to keep it in play but can't quite manage to do so. Orsnes back down the left for Dahl. Dahl trying to dig out a long ball down the line, which is blocked. Thrown in field and then hacked up in the air. Enzo Fernandez controls on the edge of the Benfica penalty area. Forwards to Garnacho, digs out a pass to Cucurella. Cucurella whips it in across the face of goal. Orsnes with the header clear, then poked away properly by Lukebakio. It finds Orsnes on the edge of the penalty area, who drives forwards. Finds Richard Rios, now out to the left for Sudakov. Sudakov. He's got Dahl overlapping him on the left. Nice 1-2. Sudakov into the penalty area, squared across the 6-yard box. Robert Sanchez collects this time with ease. No mistake there. Lovely play from Sudakov and Dahl down the left-hand side. Intricate play. Nice 1-2 to open up Chelsea. Marseille have also scored an early goal. This one's against Ajax to take a lead in that match. Chelsea almost conceding there against Benfica in the opening minutes. Badiashile across to Caicedo, chipped over to the left wing for Garnacho, who controls it. Couple of step overs, gets towards the byline and is shut down by Richard Rios, who comes across with a strong challenge. Garnacho looking to endear himself to those Chelsea supporters. 6.5 minutes played, goalless. Mourinho taking on Chelsea here at Stamford Bridge. Maybe never thought he'd come back, but here he is in the Champions League, leading out an extremely talented Benfica side. Amar Dedic to take the throw in. Dedic to Rios, who hooks it down the line. Clipped it over the top, and Badiashile down the line to Cucurella, and his pass backwards is really poor. It finds only Luca Bacchio of Benfica, rolls it out to the left wing for Sudakov, into Luca Bacchio, who shoots and hits the post. Robert Sanchez may have got a tiny touch on that to push it onto the post. Luca Bacchio's left-footed strike low towards the bottom corner as Chelsea gave the ball away with Cucurella. Luca Bacchio drove it forward. Sudakov again with a lovely through ball, perfectly timed. And Luca Bacchio, indeed it did, take a touch off Robert Sanchez on the way through. Made the save. And it'll be a corner to Benfica. Whipped in towards the centre of the box. Sanchez comes for it. Badiashile actually challenges his own goalkeeper for that one. Benfica get it back into the box for Pavlidis, facing away from goal, rolls it back to Otamendi. Cross goes back in and blocked again by Chelsea, but they're under siege early on here from Benfica. We've got some brilliant early momentum and look like the team most likely to score. Throw into the visitors, right down by the corner flag. Chelsea looking very shaky at the back already. Amar Dedic ready to take the throw in front of a packed out Stamford Bridge. Dedic throws it down the line. Very close from Luca Bacchio though, hitting the post in the 8th minute. Throw in didn't actually amount to anything. And backwards instead to Antonio Silva. Now down the right to Dedic on the edge of the penalty area. Across to Luca Bacchio again. Onto his left foot, goes down very weak from Luca Bacchio that time after a really strong counter-attack before. Chelsea back in possession. Cucurella. Back to Badiashile. Now Chalobah bringing it forwards. Chalobah finds Badiashile. Possession on the halfway line. Over to the right hand side. Chelsea bring it forwards with Neto. Strong challenge though from Sudakov. Badiashile plays it across. Chalobah finds Enzo Fernandez. Forwards towards Facundo Buonanotte. Him and Tyrick George making their Champions League debuts tonight. Down the line it goes. Caicedo on the ball. Works it down the right wing. Chipped into the penalty area by Fernandez, headed away by Otamendi. Benfica look to smash it down the line away from their own goal. It does go long this time. Benfica looking like the side who are taking the game to Chelsea early on here. They're looking better, to be honest. And their hosts. Been a really solid start. With Bacchio hitting the post. Biggest chance of the game so far in the opening 10 minutes as Neto whips in across on the right hand side. Rolls through to Garnacho, takes the volley, right footed and scuffs it past the near post. Could have done a lot more with that one. Chelsea swinging the ball in. Shot coming in from Garnacho. Just rushed it. Snatched at it, in fact. Otamendi ready to take the goal kick. Tyreek George inside the penalty area, so he's been delayed by a few seconds before he can actually take it. Across to Trubin. Trubin then launches it downfield. Chalobah and Badiashile can deal with it. It's Badiashile to play it back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Nice 1-2 between them, and then it's a loose pass in midfield. Caicedo's having to sweep up for them. Chelsea almost giving the ball away on the edge of their own box there. Badiashile's pass, very poor. And they just about get away with it. Forwards to Tyreek George, who loses out in midfield. Richard Rios very strong in there, dispossessing the young Chelsea forward. Benfica back on the ball. Out down the right hand side it goes. Amar Dedic. As Igor Paixão gets his second goal of the game for Marseille in the opening 13 minutes. Marseille chip forwards towards Pavlidis, over the top it goes, and Badiashile heads over to Chalobah. Chalobah out to the right side. Malo Gusto. Badiashile now wide to Cucurella. Wide to the left hand side for Garnacho. Driving down the left wing. Chelsea with a slow start here. Benfica have been the better of the two sides so far. Ball goes over to the right hand side, chipped over the top, but it runs through and all the way out of play. It'll be Benfica goal kick. Their away supporters have travelled in decent numbers. They haven't quite filled the away end, but nearly for Benfica. They're watching their side have a really positive start to the game here, with Jose Mourinho leading them out against Chelsea. So throw in to Benfica inside their own half as Dedic is shut down by Cucurella. Given the geography of the Stamford Bridge Stadium, Dedic going over the barriers and the Chelsea fan helping him back to his feet. Giving him a little good shove for good measure as he gets back onto the playing surface. Luke Bacchio falls to Orsnes and then across to Pavlidis, spread out to the left hand side, and they're running down the left wing. Benfica chance to put the cross in this Sudakov, chops back onto his right foot, shoots for goal, goes low to the bottom left corner, but it's not much conviction on the effort. Drags it round past the post, kicked it into the floor a little bit. Sanchez able to watch it all the way. As Harry Kane scores another Champions League goal for Bayern. Away at Paphos. Hit the post early on and has scored 14 minutes in. This one's still goalless after 15 minutes. On the right hand side come Benfica. Ball chipped over the top. Badiashile collecting for Chelsea. Currently the scores are as stands. Chelsea versus Benfica 0-0. It's this one. Bodo Glimt 0-0 against Tottenham. Atletico Madrid a goal up against Frankfurt as Benfica break forwards into the penalty area, Richard Rios and Luke Bacchio. Luke Bacchio leaving it for Rios, tries to get the shot off and it rolls through to the goalkeeper Sanchez. Sanchez bowls it out down the left wing for Cucurella. Cucurella then forwards to Enzo Fernandez, out down to the left hand side for Garnacho. Across to Cucurella who goes down. No free kick given, says the referee. Orsnes back to the goalkeeper Trubin, who miscontrols it and almost lets it roll in. Just about keeps it away from the goal line. Chip downfield. Badiashile controls it with his chest. Pavlidis goes to ground. Now it's Caicedo. Out to the right wing for Neto. Neto driving forwards with some real intent. Onto his left foot, Neto strikes for goal. It's a good strike, just past the post. That's the closest Chelsea have come. Encouraged on by his home supporters. Pedro Neto with a cracking effort there. Running in field with real speed. Left-footed effort, smashed low towards the bottom corner. Movement on the ball, it was such a good strike. Kissed the post on the way through, that would have been a spectacular goal. Ever so close. Both teams looking like scoring. Neither have so far. Badiashile to Chalobah and back to Badiashile. Mourinho on his return to Chelsea. It's 18 years since his first spell at the club ended. He was there for 3 years, from 2004 to 2007. Such a good time he had there, adored by these fans. Malo Gusto out to the right-hand side for Neto, who's driving forwards again, looking menacing. He beats Dahl with ease, whips in the cross towards the back post. Garnacho whips it across the face of goal, and Richard Rios helps it into his own goal. He was running back to try and block the cross. Garnacho hit it across the face of goal, and it was turned into the top of his own goal. And Chelsea lead at home against Benfica. They started slowly, but now they've got into it. And it's Richard Rios inadvertently turning the ball into his own net, which has given them the lead. 18 minutes in, and Chelsea lead by a goal to nil. It was Neto making it initially with a lovely cross to the back post, and all Garnacho did was just help it into that dangerous area across the 6-yard line, and Rios understandably panics. He's got Enzo Fernandez behind him, who's there looking to try and tap it in, but he had a bit more time than he thought. He may have been able to turn and play it the other way, or I think what he's tried to do is get it over the crossbar. It's a Garnacho assist. Chelsea lead. Rios smashing the ball into his own net. And Benfica have got work to do. Game's definitely not over though. They do look like a really solid team. Just a moment of panic from Rios there as the ball came across. Just tried to get it over his crossbar. Enzo Fernandez was in there waiting for it. Tyrick George wasn't in a particularly dangerous position. Just one of those things when you're defending a cross like that, you assume the striker is going to be right behind you. And when it's inside the 6-yard area, you panic. He's just tried to smash it over the crossbar. He smashed it into the back of his own net instead. Back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Chip down the right wing for Chelsea. Neto heads it in field. Barrenechea pokes it back to Antonio Silva. Silva to Trubin. Trubin works it down the right wing for Dedic, and this is where Chelsea are actually pressing really well and winning the ball multiple times. Dedic to Silva again. Silva out down the left-hand side. Now driving from the left is Dahl. Dahl finds Pavlidis. Digs out a pass to the left winger, Sudikov. Infield to Rios. Back to Orsnes again. One of those players that can play multiple positions. Comfortable at fullback, comfortable in attacking midfield. They work their way down to Dodi Luca Bacchio on the right hand side, driving into the penalty area. Step over to try and beat Cucurella. Does get to the byline, cuts it across for Pavlidis. There's a goal line scramble. Pavlidis wanting a foul for a penalty. Went to ground under the challenge of Chalobah as he tried to take the shot. Pavlidis still arguing with the referee. No one else really protesting his case. Another opportunity for Benfica in what is an extremely exciting start to this match. 21 minutes of action. Chelsea are leading by a goal to nil as it stands, but that was another chance for Benfica. Very similar to the Chelsea goal, actually. Gusto throws it back towards Caicedo. Goes on towards Gusto again. Now back to Caicedo. Chip down the line. Neto controls. Leaves it for Buonanotte. That's the edge for Caicedo. Gusto plays down the line again. Neto to the byline, cuts it back to the edge of the box for Buonanotte. Shoots with his left foot and saved by Trubin, who catches it and holds it. Buonanotte striking from the edge of the box with his left foot. Curling, ended up going down the middle. Long ball downfield, Chalobah wins the header. Luca Bacchio knocks it down the line, Badiashile intercepts, finds Enzo Fernandez. Chalobah puts it into Caicedo. Caicedo back to Badiashile. Halfway through the first half. Chelsea leading 1-0. May have lost 3 of the last 5 and be 8th in the Premier League, but this is looking better for them in a big Champions League game to get off the mark in the league phase. Still an awful long way to go, and it's been a great game so far as Pavlidis lifts it over the top down the left-hand side, looking for Sudakov, the Ukrainian left winger. He pulls it back for Orsnes. Sudakov then whips in the cross, right-footed, too close to the goalkeeper. Sanchez collects, pops it out into midfield for Caicedo, then forwards to Enzo Fernandez, who drives the ball down the left wing for Garnacho. Garnacho drives infield onto his right foot, looking to get a shot off. He's watched all the way by Dedic. Then Enzo Fernandez digs out a cross. Otamendi, their captain, wins the header and clears it. Orsnes across to Baranachea. And now Benfica can work the ball forwards down the left-hand side. Across to Antonio Silva. Back to Orsnes. Mourinho shouldn't be too concerned by what he's seeing in his Benfica side at the minute. A goal down, but it was an unfortunate own goal. They've looked decent. Orsnes now to Luke Bacchio. Finds Otamendi. Down the left way it goes. Benfica in possession inside their own half. Looking to re-establish themselves in the game after going behind in tough circumstance. Probably should have scored already, Benfica, but I'm sure there'll be plenty more chances the way they're playing. Looking really solid. Gusto across to Badiashile. Walking the ball forwards down the left-hand side. On 2 between him and Caicedo. Back to Badiashile. Enzo Maresca. Trying to get his side back on winning form. Of course, won the Conference League last season and the Club World Cup in the summer, so not exactly having a torrid time at Chelsea, but under some criticism again. High standards at this club as Fernandez finds Garnacho on the left wing, step over, gets into the penalty area, tracked all the way by Dedic, who defends really well and hacks it away down the line towards Luke Bacchio. Cucurella pulls his shirt and he goes down slightly belatedly. Cucurella not happy about the call. Free kick given to the Belgian winger. Marseille go 3-0 up against Ajax. Mason Greenwood with the goal for the French side this time. 2 for Igor Paixão and 1 for Greenwood. Got a very good team at the minute, do Marseille. 26 minutes played here. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. Trubin smashes it downfield on his right foot. Bounces towards Orsnes, and Luca Bacchio on his left foot. Challenged by Enzo Fernandez, bringing it forwards. Step over, Garnacho. Here's the player. Going down. Chelsea win a free kick inside of their own half. Over to the right hand side. It's Neto on the ball, close to the touchline. Plays it back into midfield for Buonanotte. Yet to see too much from him or Tyrick George. It's a quiet debut in the Champions League for the pair of them, so far at least. Now it goes down the right wing, it's intercepted. And sliding to keep it in play is Sudakov, who's done very well there. We're seeing this team set up by Mourinho in a very attacking way. Benfica quite open at the back, but brilliantly creating chances so far, been very creative. Cucurella again upset with the referee. Throwing going against him. He thought it was going to be in his favour. Orsnes back to Otamendi. Down the left hand side. Looking for Dahl. Dahl in field. Pulling all the time from Malo Gusto. And that's a free kick to Benfica inside of their own half. Across it goes to Antonio Silva. He can walk it forwards for Benfica into midfield. Now it's Orsnes. Down the left. Looking for Dahl. Across to Antonio Silva, down the right. Benfica looking to build an attack on this side now. Cucurella challenging Richard Rios. The game will be brought to a brief halt whilst Rios is getting back to his feet. Enzo Fernandez pulling him up. 29 minutes played. No change from the Rios own goal in the 18th minute. Chelsea not necessarily on top. Game pretty much hanging in the balance, I'd say. Benfica, if anything, have had the better chances. But neither side playing badly. Both just quite attacking. Robert Sanchez chipped over down the right wing. Headed on towards Neto. Inter Milan take the lead against Slavia Prague. So goals going in all over the place tonight. Galatasaray also leading against Liverpool, which is a big shock at the minute. Lots going on. Chelsea bring it forwards down the left wing to Marc Cucurella. It goes across to Badiashile. Caicedo over down the right hand side. Chipped behind. Garnacho, who controls, drives in field, chipped over towards the back post. Garnacho's cross just evades everyone. Goes out for a goal kick. Chelsea trying to be creative with the cross there. Garnacho getting into a good position, whipping it in with his right foot. Decent effort. Oh, on the end to turn it in. Now down the right for Benfica. Garnacho piling on the pressure. Dedic down the line. Enzo Fernandez in field to Buonanotte. There's it back for Caicedo. All the way to the goalkeeper now as Bayern Munich go 3-0 up against Paphos, and it's Nicholas Jackson's first goal for them. So many goals in this first half of Champions League action tonight. Many storylines, it's extremely exciting. Chelsea still ahead here against Benfica at home. Leading against Jose Mourinho. Cucurella across to Badiashile. Midfield to Caicedo, chipped back to Chalobah just on the halfway line here, Chelsea. Working their way forward slowly. Enzo Fernandez back to Caicedo. Badiashile controls. Chipped over to the left-hand side. Collected by Garnacho, lovely first touch. Goes to the line for Cucurella. Cuts the pass back, and Benfica can now drive out of Richard Rios, who's pulled to the ground. Be a free kick to Benfica on the edge of their own penalty area. Atletico Madrid have scored again against Frankfurt. Robin Lenormand, the centre-back, getting forwards and netting. At the minute, Atletico leading 2-0 against Frankfurt. Bodo Glimt is the only goalless game. They're hosting Tottenham. Chelsea 1-0 Benfica. Galatasaray leading Liverpool. Victor Osimhen with a penalty. Inter leading Slavia Prague 1-0. Marseille 3-0 up against Ajax. And Paphos 3-0 down at home to Bayern Munich. Enzo Fernandez back to Caicedo. Cross down the left for Badiashile. Knocks it into the centre of the box. Played out by Tariq George to Enzo Fernandez. There's a yellow card being brandished in midfield for Barrenechea for a late foul. It looks like, well, Barrenechea is not happy about that at all. Just trod on the foot of Buonanotte after he played the ball. And Tottenham have also conceded a penalty to Bodo Glimt, so the home side will have a chance to go ahead of Spurs. Yellow card to Barrenechea. Chelsea free kick, 45 yards from goal in the central position. Enzo Fernandez standing over this one. I think he's just going to play it short. Yellow to Barrenechea, which the Benfica players are not happy about, neither is Mourinho. Slightly frustrating end to the first half for the visitors. Over towards Badiashile. And Bodo Glimt have missed the penalty against Tottenham. Blazed over the crossbar. Cucurella now down the left-hand side. Badiashile to the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Down the left for Badiashile. Chelsea looking for another goal before the end of the half. Cucurella gets it under his control. Infield it goes. Now Fernandez intercepts and plays it into the centre of the pitch. Down the right wing now. Chance to deliver the cross. Whipped into the penalty area. Headed away. Out to the edge. Cucurella tries to keep possession. Luca Bacchio trying to race him for it. This time Cucurella comes out on top as Garnacho finds the ball. Enzo Fernandez intercepts. Luke Bacchio with a sliding challenge. Chelsea down the line to Badiashile, throwing it backwards. Robert Sanchez. Now Badiashile. Harry Kane scores again for Bayern, who go 4-0 up inside the first 35 minutes of their game against Paphos. Buonanotte's down after suffering another rough challenge in midfield, this time off Frederick Orsnes. Orsnes pulling him to the ground. Little kick on the back of his heel there. Gets back to his feet, nothing too serious for him. Badiashile. Mr. Chalobah. It's midfield for Caicedo, who turns and goes down. Brought down by Orsnes in the centre of midfield. to Badiashile. Less than 10 to go in this first half. Ball switched over to the right-hand side. Headed back into midfield. Gusto jogging back to the halfway line. Otamendi goes back to the goalkeeper. Gusto was one who conceded that little free kick there, just too aggressive in the challenge. Chip now down the right hand side, headed back into midfield. Luke Bacchio finds Pavlidis, who tries to switch the play over to the far side. It's cut out on its way over there. Caicedo falls to Buonanotte. Back down the line for Chalobah. Chelsea, this first half sort of just dried up towards the end. After the 25th minute or so, it was a really exciting start to the game. Chelsea having more control, more possession now, and less chances coming in altogether. They last met in the Champions League in 2012 when Chelsea went on to win the whole competition. They did beat them 2-1 that time. Very different story now though. Two debutants for Chelsea, a very young side. Garnacho back to Enzo Fernandez. Forwards towards the edge of the penalty area. Caicedo across to Gusto. Now Enzo Fernandez. Play down the left for George. George to Garnacho. Switched over to Chalobah, played into midfield. Chelsea still in possession. Badiashile down the left wing for Garnacho. Close to the touchline, driving forwards. Down the line for the underlapping run of Cucurella. Whipped into the danger area again. This time Trubin collects. No own goals or drama on this occasion. Just good goalkeeping. Antonio Silva back to Trubin, who again, oh my goodness, the second time in this game, almost controls the ball into his own goal. Oh my word. Ball's played back to him, he spills it out of his feet, almost into his own goal. That's the second time in this game he's done that. He has to hack it away for a corner. I don't know what he's playing at. They're not even hard passes to control, they just tap back to him. Enzo Fernandez going over to take the corner, and the fans throwing things at him. Jose Mourinho going over to tell them to stop. The Benfica supporters do need to calm down here. It's their former player they're throwing things at. Their own players and manager down by the touchline asking them to stop. Jose Mourinho furious with the supporters who are throwing things onto the pitch. Otamendi is as well. Really shouldn't be doing that, but Enzo Fernandez has taken it well in fairness. He's going to whip the corner in now towards the front post, headed out towards the edge of the box. Gusto. And into midfield for Caicedo. Now forwards down the right hand side for Chalobah. Garnacho driving in field. Plays out to Enzo Fernandez, 5 minutes to go in the first half. Getting to the byline is Neto now, trying to work a crossing opportunity. Back out to the edge of the box, whipped into the penalty area, flicked on and away by Otamendi. Garnacho collects. Down the left hand side towards Enzo Fernandez, who goes down and wins the free kick in front of the Benfica supporters, who are getting increasingly agitated by the presence of their former central midfielder. It's a good thing that Mourinho did there. He went over to his own fans and told them to calm down and stop throwing things onto the pitch. None of the Benfica players were encouraging that sort of behaviour. It's a shame it's happening in the first place, but at least Mourinho and the players recognised how wrong it was and have gone out of their way to try and stop them. Trubin organising the wall after a very shaky first half for the goalkeeper. Almost scored 2 own goals, which would have been absolutely devastating. Free kick about 20 yards from goal, left of the penalty area. Whipped into the penalty area and Badiashile heads it over the crossbar. That was a big opportunity for the centre-back. Lovely ball chipped into the box by Neto, left-footed, curling away from goal. Brilliant chance to head it towards goal. Over the crossbar it went. 2.5 to go in the first half. Trubin launches it downfield. Caicedo heads it away, only as far as Baranachea, who helps it forwards. Breaks loose for Buonanotte in midfield. Down the right it goes for Neto. Lovely through ball towards him. Dahl slides in. Dahl challenges him, and Neto, they come down together. Neto gives him a hug as they fall over in the challenge. They have a little laugh to each other about how that one's ended up. Neto just giving him a little hug as they go to ground. That's very funny. Out of play for a Chelsea throw. Badiashile through to Fernandez, flicked onto towards Tyrick George. Antonio Silva brings him down, and the referee says to Silva, that's your last chance before you get a yellow card. No card this time, but a free kick to Chelsea. Cross to Caicedo. Now back to Badiashile. Forwards to Enzo Fernandez. Central midfield. There's just over a minute to go in this first half. Caicedo clips it down the left. Challenge Cucurella. Lovely touch in the box. Lays it off to Tyrick George with a shot, and he should score, but it's saved by Trubin. Down the middle from George. Champions League debut. The big chance to get a goal inside the 6-yard box. The ball was played back to him. That was a massive opportunity. Benfica now coming forwards on the counter-attack down the other side. And then unfortunately stopped for them by Benoit Badiashile. 19-year-old Tyrick George only scored 4 goals for Chelsea overall, but that was a huge opportunity for him. Ball was played across to him. He's just outside the 6-yard box. And he pokes it towards goal with the outside of his right foot. Saved by Trubin very easily in the end. Throw into Benfica. About to see how much time is going to be added on at the end of this first half as it's thrown in. Just 1 minute at the end of the first half. Cleared downfield and Antonio Silva controls. Orsnes taken down in midfield. Yellow card for Enzo Fernandez for kicking the ball away. He's barely kicked it away, so a bit of a waste of a yellow for him as they try and take the free kick. Benfica, he just knocks it a few yards further down. .20 seconds to go in this first half. Benfica ready to whip this one into the box for the last chance of the 45 minutes. It's about 40 yards from goal, just left of centre. They're going to have the chance to whip this in towards the back post. Luca Bacchio stands over it, left-footed chip ball towards the back post. Otamendi heads it down, it finds its way to Pavlidis, who dinks it in towards the centre. Tyrick George heads away, then Pavlidis controls, and the ball is helped clear down the left-hand side for Garnacho, who's racing to try and beat Orsnes to the ball. Orsnes challenges him, and that's the end of the first half. Mourinho straight down the tunnel. Not too happy about something there. But it's the end of the first half. And Chelsea are leading at home against Jose Mourinho. It's Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Hello and welcome back to second half coverage of Chelsea versus Benfica. The second half is just getting underway as the hosts have a 1-goal advantage after the first half. Yellow card already immediately in the second half for Buonanotte, who comes straight out with a sliding challenge as Benfica play the ball back through midfield, takes Buonanotte down. It looks to me like he got the balls as a harsh yellow card. A feisty start to the second half either way. It's a free kick to Benfica just inside of the Chelsea half. Down it goes to Dahl on the left hand side. He plays it infield towards Buonanotte. Across to Otamendi. Opens his body up, down the right hand side that goes. Dedic back to Silva. Now Otamendi Back to the goalkeeper. Trubin chips it out down the right. Dedic tries to pass down the right hand side and it's blocked. Throw into Benfica. There's a lot of goals going on in the Champions League tonight. Chelsea, Benfica is just 1-0 still as we start the second half. But the other games, Bodo Glimt versus Tottenham is the only goalless one as it stands. Atletico Madrid are leading Frankfurt 3-0. Marseille 3-0 against Ajax. Paphos have got one back against Bayern, but they trail by 4-1. Inter Milan beating Slavia Prague 2-0, and Galatasaray are a goal up at home against Liverpool. More games tomorrow in the Champions League. So much going on, a lot of football. It's well and truly back. Season is well underway, and here is Chelsea v Benfica in a big match in West London. Jose Mourinho returning to Stamford Bridge with his Benfica side, who are currently a goal down. 47.5 minutes in. Long ball forwards down the left hand side is collected by Sudakov. No changes at the break either. Pavlidis out to the left, played into the box for Orsnes, who's one-on-one with Sanchez. Sanchez comes out and smothers him. No foul. Orsnes is down in the box. It all came at him a bit too quickly there as the cross went over towards the back post. Orsnes tried to get it under control and shoot, but he didn't quite have enough time to do both, and by the time he controlled it, Robert Sanchez had completely smothered him. He may have just been a tad offside anyway. It's a good chance though for Benfica. Must say it's a really decent save by Robert Sanchez though, to give him his credit where it's due. Receives a lot of criticism of the Chelsea goalkeeper, but that was a terrific save. Badiashile back to Sanchez. Hooks it out down the left wing. Cucurella collects. Forwards to Caicedo. Runs the ball down the left wing. With real pace and intent. Gets all the way to Antonio Silva, who makes a cracking challenge. Stops the ball on the line and then plays it along the wing towards Richard Rios, who challenges with Buonanotte as he goes for the ball. It's going to be a yellow card. They're coming out very fast now. Richard Rios does not agree with the decision, it's fair to say. Again, it looks like he got a touch on the ball. Knocked it into the feet of Buonanotte, who tripped over the ball, if anything, but as was with Buonanotte's yellow card, I think that was very harsh as well. A couple of yellows early on in this second half. The referee clearly clamping down on any misbehaviour out there. Free kick to Chelsea, about 35 yards from goal in the centre. Neto standing over it. The last time they had a free kick in a position like this, he delivered it brilliantly as well. So they've got a chance here to cross it in. Neto standing over the free kick, as is Enzo Fernandez now. Right foot in swinging of Enzo Fernandez, or curling left foot of Neto. Neto steps up and chips it left footed towards the back post. Barrenechea heads it clear. Badiashile collects. Chelsea have got Ajax at home in their next Champions League game on the 22nd of October, and then Karabag away on the 5th of November. That's their next two league phase matches. Remember, 8 games now in the Champions League phase. Won't be finished until the start of 2026, when the games come at the end of January. Busy period for all teams involved. Down the right it goes towards Gusto. Back in field to Chalobah. Chalobah finds Buonanotte. Across to Caicedo, flicks it on towards Enzo Fernandez. Challenged by Antonio Silva, and the ball pops up in the air, collected by Richard Rios, who lunges for it, has to pull out because he knows he's on a yellow, giving Caicedo possession there. Garnacho down the wing, he's tackled strongly by Omar Dedic. Gives it to Luke Bacchio, but they can't get out of their own half here, Benfica. Going back to the goalkeeper. Trubin works it out to the left-hand side. Gives it to Dahl, who turns and sprints down the left wing. Little nutmeg on Neto. Neto keeps possession though, forwards to Caicedo and across to Badiashile. On the right for Caicedo. Orsnes with the challenge in midfield, and now they can bring it forwards. It's Pavlidis turning. He's got options either way. Pavlidis goes for the right hand side where Luca Bacchio's waiting. Pavlidis has gone down on the edge of the box. Collision between him and Caicedo. They're both down. Pavlidis holding his face, Caicedo his right arm. Played the pass off Pavlidis and then just ran into the shoulder of Caicedo. I'm not sure why he's down. It was just the face of Pavlidis into his arm. As Esteval now gets ready, and Maresca briefing him on how he can impact the game, I'm sure. Esteval ready to come on, be the first substitute of the match. See if he comes on for Garnacho or Buonanotte. I imagine it's one of those two. Ball headed forwards by Benfica. Pavlidis beats Cucurella in the air, knocks it down for Luca Bacchio, who tries to beat Cucurella for pace. They're pretty evenly matched. Finds Orsnes on the edge of the box. Pavlidis strays offside, so he has to go out to the left wing instead. Played into the box for Orsnes, who chips it towards goal. It deflects and finds Pavlidis. The second shot comes in and Benfica can't force it over the line. Another big chance for Orsnes. Benfica are having lots of opportunities. I can't believe they've not scored, to be honest. Orsnes out wide to the left hand side as he made that run into the box. Picked him out really nicely, had the one-on-one. Couldn't quite force it over the line. And now Chelsea will make the substitution. Buonanotte coming off for Esteval makes sense, the player on the yellow card, and especially given how the referee has started this second half. Daniel Seabart's been dishing out cards. Tottenham have gone a goal down away to Bodo Glimt, which would be a massive shock if they lose to them. Esteval is on for Chelsea. Immediately into the action, up against Dahl. This time Dahl comes out on top. Barrenechea now brings it forwards, knocks it down the left wing for Pavlidis. Gets down towards the byline. Pavlidis keeps it in play. Plays it across the 6-yard box, stabbed away by Chalobot. Kept in by Sudakov. Cross towards the back post, headed back into the penalty area. The goalkeeper collects. As Tottenham respond immediately away at Bodo Glimt and get a goal straight back. And what's an incredible start to the second half. Corner for Benfica. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinging delivery from the visitors in front of their own supporters now. That's the way they're shooting, and the corner goes in. It's low to the front post and easily dealt with. Hooked away by Chelsea, and they can bring it forwards now. Esteval driving them up the field through the middle. Down the right-hand side to Neto. Neto bringing it down the right. Stood up by Orsnes, rolls it infield towards Esteval, who's been extremely involved since coming on.